Okay, so we moved our lights around a little bit for a little bit different look again. In this case, I've got the main kind of coming a little more straight on to Francesca. It's gonna hit the background, that's okay, because we're going for a little bit lighter, different look. Over here, actually let's change places. Over here, I've got the strip softbox, and now it is acting as what's called a kicker or a separation light. This has a dual combination. One, it's here, I'll actually turn this way a little bit. One, it's adding light to this part of her shoulder, and it's also adding some fill on her hair, so it's acting a little as a hair light, and it's also adding some light on this side of her face. What this does is it creates 3 dimensions. By having light here, a little dark, and then light here, it makes you 3-dimensional. And since we have a plain gray background, we need some help with creating that separation. Now, as far as our metering goes, let's get you back in position. Let's go ahead and meter our lights. So I've got the kicker kind of coming right in because I don't want it to hit, I don't really want it to hit too much of her face. In fact, I'm actually going to send it back a little more because I want to get light here, but I don't necessarily want to light her nose. That's what I want the main for. Now, I want these to be a stop or maybe 2/3. I want this strip light to be about 2/3 lower. So I've got this again pointing right at her. All right, so let's go ahead and meter these 2 different lights. I've got my main right here. I'm going to put the dome in again so it doesn't see this light behind me. Meter back to the light, and I'm getting F10 to here. Off of her shoulder, I want to get the kicker here. F7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 1 stop apart. That's good. Now let's see what the number is back to the camera position. It should be 10, but let's double check anyway. It's 9. We lost a little bit. Oh, I'm standing in the kicker. My bad. Keep yourself out of the way of the lights when you're doing your metering. Come on, you gotta let me know these things. All right, so I'm gonna come right up underneath your chin, and I'm getting F10. So I was costing 1/3 of a stop of the light because my bulk absorbing the light from the kicker here. So don't do that. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Sound like my father. Okay. F10. Here we go. All right, honey, let's get moving here. Yeah, it's good. Just keep moving around. Yep. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, now 30 poses in 15 seconds. Ready, go. No, really, I'm only kidding. Just kidding, just kidding. Francesca just did something that you need to pay attention to. No, it wasn't bad. Because there's no way you'd know it from without me telling you. When you've got a head that's starting to turn, what happened was her eye on the far side broke the plane of her head. So when you're seeing that happen, make sure that on the far side there's always a little bit of skin. If there's not, either tell your subject to move your head back a little bit or you move. Okay, so here's our mane. I've actually got it pointing this way. It's actually going across her, but it's a big surface and it's also very close. By doing this, it's going to keep the light off the background. And I'm going to do the same thing with the kicker. I'm going to angle it a little bit. By doing this, it's going to allow the background to go much darker. Since I moved stuff, let's go ahead and remeter. I just want to see what the mane is doing on her face here. And I'm getting F10 now because she's a little closer. That's fine. And F8 here. Let's bring that one up a little bit. Let's see. Again, that's my 2 light. So let's go. If I want to match them, I have to come up 2/3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Light comes back on when it's done it. There we go. Now, if I meter it, it should be the same. They should both be F10 now. So let's meter that. What's it say?
10.
10. There we go. F10. So we're F10 all around, but our background should be going much darker. Here we go. There we go. I got to bring this around a little bit. Okay. Actually, take a 1/4 of a step backwards. Okay, rotate this shoulder back. Wait, bring your, remember about hand knife edge? Yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go, nice. Tilt your head this way a little bit. There we go. Good. All right. Drop your hand, your hip there. Good. Bring head around to me a little more. Good. Drop your head to this shoulder. Nice. Drop that shoulder. I'm liking what it's doing for the background. However, with the kicker and the hair, I'm getting a little bit too much shadow on her face. So I'm going to aid that by bringing in a reflector here to fill in just this part of her face right here. Okay, so we've got a reflector here right now to just throw some of the mane a little bit around to her again. Here we go. That's what it needed. Beautiful. Head around to me a little more. Give me a smile. Yeah, actually, just do what you did with your eyes. Now back to me. Now right here, look right here. Bring your hair around on both sides. Yeah. Give me a smile. There we go. Nice. Nice. There we go. Beautiful. That's what it needed. It just needed that one little additional reflector to fill in some of the shadows on the face. So we've got our kicker coming in and adding some light to her shoulder and this side of her hair. Our mane is feathered heavily. It's going past her, but it's getting light and then wrapping around her face. And to just fill in some shadows, because the one place the mane cannot get to is right here, because her nose is in the way. Yeah, you know, we're stuck with it being there, so we need to add a little bit of light on that side of her face. Just by bringing this one small reflector in, allowed some of the mane to come here, fill in those shadows. That was nice. You like that? That was a pretty look. Good. I love that. I love the background going darker, but I love the separation that this light caused on her shoulder. Added a nice bit of separation. 2 lights, 1 reflector, gray background.
2 lights, 1 reflector, gray background. Got it.
All right.
I got it.
She'll be an assistant next shoot. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right.